In today's video, I'm sharing with you how to slow down with journaling. Let's get right into it. Okay, friends, I just want to start this video off by saying really quickly, I am not feeling super great right now. I'm a little bit under the weather, and the only reason why I mention that is because if my energy levels are off or if I sound a little different, that is why. I'm just explaining that right at the top. But we are not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about journaling, and I have been talking a lot about journaling already for this year, and the reason why is because I think for the first time in my adult life, I'm starting to reap really, really positive benefits from journaling. I am now looking at my journal as a companion, as an integral tool to my day to day, and I think that's incredible. I think it's amazing to lean on something like that. And I think that's really exciting, not only for myself, but for other people, because I would love to share that experience with you and share ways in which you can also have that companion, have that integral tool in your life to help you on your slow living journey or in your life in general. I've also been noticing that a lot of people have been getting back into journaling, which is really exciting. 2025 might be the year of the journal. I've been seeing a lot of videos of people getting back into journaling, and that's just super, super exciting, especially as someone who talks about slow living a lot, because believe it or not, this might be a surprise for some people, but physical journaling is considered a slow living practice these days, especially now in 2025 in modern days where everything is digitized and you can absolutely digital journal. I'll talk more about that soon. But it's just really exciting to see a shift into more physical journaling practices and slowing down, being in the moment, and really investing time in a practice that is giving back to you and prioritizing your joys. So it's just really exciting to see, and I want to be able to share some tips and ideas for you so that you can get into it, whether you've been journaling for some time and you're feeling a little uninspired, or you're just journaling for the very first time and you have no idea where to begin. So this video is going to start off with some tips to get you started, and then I will give you some actual concrete ideas as to how to get started today with your journal, so you can get your journal right after watching this video and get started immediately. So the first tip is to be open to it. Not just to journaling in general, but different formats of journaling as well. So starting with just journaling in general. I know some people may stick their nose up at journaling and think that it's kind of superficial. It's kind of one of those tips where we talk about self-care and we say, oh, have a bubble bath. It's like very surface level when we say it out loud. But when we actually get into the practice of it and we start to develop a habit and we create our own journal routine, it really can be transformative. So just be open to it. You can't start any habit, you can't start any journey unless you are open and willing to get started. The next tip, which kind of goes hand in hand with the first tip, is to be patient. Again, when you're developing a habit, it takes at least 1 month to really secure that habit and say that it is a habit in your life. So it requires consistency, it requires being patient and just continuing on with the process, even if along the way it feels kind of useless, it feels like it's not really doing anything, you're not feeling any effects or anything like that. Give it some time. I'll use a personal example. I have done my form of journaling, which is like morning pages. I've been doing that for a year now, and I haven't really noticed any major effects with it, any major positive effects with it up until this year. So just about a year later, I'm now reaping the benefits, and it has been 100% worth the journey. So just give it some time. I'm not saying that it's going to take a year. It took a year for me because maybe I don't know. I don't know, something's wrong with me, but it may very well be much more instantaneous or sooner than you think. And then the last tip is to experiment, which will lead us into the different ideas that I have for you. But a lot of people are going to say to journal one type of way or the other. I talk about morning pages a lot, but I'm not saying that you have to do morning pages to be a successful journaler. Experiment with what works for you. Try different things at first. Try getting into different habits, different ideas, different prompts, whatever it may be, and see what sticks, see what fulfills you, see what excites you to get back into your journal every single day or every single week, whatever journal routine you end up going with. And that experimentation will help you shape your journal routine going forward, which will end up being your companion. Okay, with those tips being said, let's jump into actual concrete ideas that you can use to start journaling today. The first idea, I'm going to call it beginner level because it is for those who have not journaled in many years or have never journaled before and literally have no idea where to begin. use prompts. And I'm not going to give you exact prompts in this video, but if you want exact prompts from me, let me know in the comment section. But you can also go onto Pinterest and type in whatever prompts you want. You can start with journal prompts as the search, or you can do monthly types of prompts. So February journaling prompts, self-care journaling prompts, self-love journaling prompts, reflective journaling prompts, introspective journaling prompts. Just add whatever word that you want to get into and then add journaling prompts afterward, and I promise you, you're gonna find dozens and dozens of prompts to get started with. Just click on the first one, click on the one that looks most interesting to you, and answer the prompts. That's how easy it is. It's almost like a survey, it's almost like a poll, it's almost like those little quizzes that we like to take on the internet. Maybe that's aging me. But it's a lot of fun actually when you start with prompts. It gets you into the habit, it gets you into the motion of writing things down and actually thinking reflectively. And it's just a really great starting tool. So start there. Another personal example that I have for you, I was doing my artist's way and there are prompts in there. I'm going to keep using that as an example. I apologize. It's just the one that I'm using currently. But there was a prompt in there that was a very seemingly innocent prompt, and I started writing, and I thought I was going to write a couple of lines. I ended up writing 16 pages, and it was one of the very first prompts in the book. So, needless to say, just trust the process. Again, be patient and start here if you have no idea where to go. But if you want to level up a little bit more, I have to encourage you to try morning pages. Now, if you don't know what morning pages are, it comes from the book The Artist's Way, which is about reinvigorating, reigniting your creative side, your inner artist. And you don't have to be an artist, or you don't have to believe you're an artist to do the artist's way. But I'm not telling you to do the artist's way at all. I'm just telling you to do one practice that it's in the artist's way, and that is called the morning pages. What are the morning pages? It's essentially taking your journal every single morning and writing 3 pages. That's it. There's no prompts, there's no direction, there's no instruction. You just write 3 full pages every single morning. And I'm not going to tell you what to write because there is no instruction. You literally have to figure it out on your own as you start writing. It may come to you as a diary entry. It may come to you as like, oh, I'm planning the day. It may come to you as reflections. It may come to you as a sleep journal. Whatever it may be, just start writing 3 pages every single day. I think this is another level up because, again, there is not really any instruction or direction, so you can truly do whatever you want here, and I think that gives you some freedom to get creative with your morning pages. And again, it doesn't have to relate to the artist's way at all. You don't need to start the artist's way at all, but I do think it's a really good practice for anyone who wants to get into journaling, because a lot will come out on the page. You have to trust me on that. I was struggling so much in January and just mentally, and the morning pages actually dug me out of a really depressive state, which is insane for me to say. I cannot even believe that that is true, but it is true. I have to give a lot of credit to it. So again, give it a try as your next level up. Okay, and then we're gonna level up one more. I recommend you try doing niche or very specific types of journaling. So something that's really popular these days is junk journaling or scrapbooking. I think junk journaling and scrapbooking are synonymous. When we were younger, people called it scrapbooking, but I think nowadays we're calling it junk journaling. And it looks a lot of fun, but it also takes the brain work out of journaling and just makes it much more of like a fun, artsy, DIY, craftsy practice, which can still be just as transformative and effective as writing thoughts down or answering prompts. So if you've never heard of junk journaling or scrapbooking, it's essentially taking bits and bobs, pieces, from magazines, from your coffee cup, like the little label on it, movie tickets, whatever it may be, just getting bits and pieces and pasting it around a spread in your journal. And you can be themed. You can do it like a diary entry, like, oh, I went to the movies today. You took a picture, you got the movie stub, you did a little journal about what you thought the movie was like, things like that, and turn it into a themed spread. Or you can really just stick things all over the place, have a great collage of a time. Again, there are no rules to this. It's just a lot of experimentation and artsy fun. So I think this one is really a really fun and interactive one. You can also do this with other people, I think. I'm sure you can have like junk journaling sessions with friends. So this one is very fun. It is time consuming in comparison to the morning pages or answering prompts. So just a heads up on that. That's why it's part of the next level. But another idea is diary entries. So if you're more of the reflective type of person and your brain really just isn't functioning early in the morning to just write from somewhere in your mind, although I will challenge you and I do believe that you can do that, maybe try doing diary entries. So at the end of your day, you can write about your day. You can write about a thought that came to your mind in the day. You can talk about a theme that happened throughout your day. You can vent, you can rant, you can curse, you can scribble, you can doodle, you can rage, you can do whatever you want, but it's much more on the reflective side. And this is something that I used to do a lot when I was younger. I think when I was in my preteens, I used to keep around a spiral notebook and I would just write about my day at the end of the day. I would do that every single day. Didn't have any page limitations. I just wrote how I felt for the day. Did that every single day for I think maybe 3 years. One of my favorite eras of journaling. So highly recommend if that's something that is more of your vibe. Another idea is themed journals. So I kind of briefly mentioned this when I was talking about the junk journaling, but themed journals can truly have one topic and you go to that journal for that one particular topic. I've seen people carry around 5 journals. You don't have to do that, but I've seen them carry on 5 journals and each journal has a different thing. So for example, one journal can have daily affirmations. You just put affirmations in there. Another journal can have recipes. So if you're someone that's into cooking or baking, just for recipes goes in there. Another journal can be a sketchbook and you can sketch, you can doodle, you can use this for drawings in particular. Another journal could be a planner and so on and so forth. So if you want to go the different themed route, if you like to compartmentalize, if you like to organize in that type of way, I've definitely experimented with this a couple of years ago. It didn't work out because I would notoriously forget to update all of these journals. It just became a little overwhelming for me. But if you are into that vibe, I truly admire you because I love to see themed journals like this. I love to see people carrying around a bunch of different journals and they have different things that they jump into. It's just so cool. It's so fun to see how nuanced human minds are. So I think it's a fantastic idea, honestly. And in the same realm, I think it's in the same realm, a bullet journal. A bullet journal is truly a blank canvas. You can do whatever you want in there. You can create really structured spreads that are for planning. You can create loose spreads that are for brain dumping and doodling and sketching. And so think about the theme journals and how I said there are 5 journals for 5 different topics. A bullet journal can be one journal and you can put all of those 5 topics in there. So it's just like one giant journal for everything in your life. Another thing that I tried for many years and I really loved it, and I kind of go back and forth between the like theme journals, the multiple theme journals, and the bullet journal having just one thing. Why am I doing this? I kind of jump between these two things because I do have a lot of compartmentalized things in my brain. I have a lot of different interests and ideas in my brain. So sometimes I go back and forth between one journal for everything or 5 journals for all 5 topics that are, I don't know, I'm using 5 as an idea as well. I must be rambling because I'm not feeling well. But anyway, you get the point. If you want to have one journal for everything, if you want to get a little creative and create your own spreads, a bullet journal is the perfect way to go. I would say this is more on the challenging side because, and people may say that that's not true for them, but I think because bullet journaling is such a blank canvas and you really have to structure it on your own, you have to be confident in structuring. You have to be confident in creating those spreads and knowing what spreads you want. You can get ideas and inspo from Pinterest, of course, or any of your favorite bullet journal content creators on YouTube. But yeah, I think this one is on the more challenging side because you really are starting from scratch. And sometimes it's hard for people to visualize things from scratch. So I'm just putting that out there. And then the last idea is to have your journal, whatever kind of journal you end up going with, and incorporating doodling or sketching or some sort of different media into your journaling. So for example, and this reminds me of bullet journaling again because you can really do whatever you want in there, but say for example you end up going the diary entry route. You like to do diary entries at the end of the day. you can incorporate a little doodle of something that brought you joy in that day. So, for example, if it was your morning coffee, you can write about your day, and on the little sidebars, you can draw a little cup with coffee in it, or what you had for breakfast, things like that, and start to get a little bit more experimental that way. This will help liven things up, especially if you're getting bored with your routine, or you've been doing a routine for some time and it's, you're starting to fall off because it's not interesting anymore. So just an extra idea there to up the challenge if you want. Okay, so those are all of my ideas for you. I have plenty more ideas, so if you do want a follow-up to this, definitely let me know in the comments. And also let me know if you wanted prompts specifically from me. I do use prompts every once in a while. I do have specific things that I do in my journal that are daily practice. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, just let me know in the comments. Let me know where you are in your journaling journey. If you've ever journaled before, if you journaled in the past, like when you were a kid and now you're jumping back into it, you're starting to see videos online where it's kind of inspiring you to journal more. Just let me know. I would love to know where you are at, and I would love to know how I can help you in any way on your journaling journey. Again, I do think that journaling and slow living go hand in hand. I say that a lot about a lot of things on the channel, but you would be surprised how certain practical practices that are part of your day can be rooted in slow living, can be rooted in prioritizing your joys, being in the moment, really embracing your joys, and things like that. But anyway, I will end things off here. My throat is kind of attacking me right now for talking so much. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm excited for your journaling journey, and I will talk to you in the next video.